Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Jared Allen is a great center, and if the Warriors can get a package to please the Cleveland Cavaliers, it would be a great deal for the Warriors. The Golden State Warriors find their frontcourt solution in this trade idea with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Golden State Warriors are coming off an underwhelming playoff exit, losing in the second round to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves had Golden State's number as soon as superstar point guard Steph Curry went down with an injury, but the Warriors' lack of size certainly did not help. The Warriors had to play one of the biggest teams in the league in a 7-game series without a reliable center, which was a recipe for disaster. Now, heading into the offseason, the Warriors do not want to waste any more of the precious years they have with Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, so acquiring a big man will be at the top of their bucket list. The Cleveland Cavaliers are coming off one of their best seasons in franchise history, finishing with a 64-18 record before losing in the second round of the playoffs. Still, despite their regular season success, the Cavaliers are expected to make some changes, and one of their top trade candidates is standout center Jared Allen. If the Cavaliers are to move on from Allen, the Warriors would likely be one of the first teams to pick up the phone. Here is what a potential Jared Allen trade to the Warriors could look like. Golden State Warriors receive Jared Allen. Cleveland Cavaliers receive Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, 2028 first-round pick, top 10 protected, 2031 first-round pick swap. This season, Allen averaged 13.5 points, 9.7 rebounds, 0.9 steals, and 0.9 blocks per game, while shooting a league-high 70.6% from the field. Finding a reliable center in the NBA is much easier said than done, and the Warriors have not had a big man of Allen's caliber in years. If they want to capitalize on their aging trio of Curry, Butler, and Green while they still can, making a move for Allen would be ideal. Proposed 2-for-1 trade sends former lottery pick to Warriors. As the Golden State Warriors prepare for the 2025 offseason, they will likely take stock of the current roster. The Warriors have two clear needs this summer: add some additional scoring, and find a talented big man. A recent trade proposal from Dean Simon of Sporting News helps solve the scoring part of Golden State's equation. The proposed trade looks like this. Warriors get Kobe White. Bulls get Moses Moody, Gue Santos, and a future first-round pick. One area of the team that general manager Mike Dunleavy may look to address is their lack of pure scoring talent outside of Curry, namely at the guard position, Simon wrote. White's incredible ball handling and ability to get to his spots could definitely pique the interests of Golden State and Dunleavy, especially due to his expiring $12 million salary for the 2025-26 campaign. White has arguably been the Chicago Bulls' best player over the past 2 seasons. However, his impending contract negotiations could lead the Bulls to explore a potential return on the trade market. However, the Warriors would likely want assurances that White would re-sign with the franchise. Furthermore, re-signing White could get expensive pretty quickly, and it must be a wrinkle for the Warriors to consider in this hypothetical situation. White had a strong season for Chicago. In 74 games he averaged 20.4 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He shot 45.3% from the field and 37% from three-point range. Underscore 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 underscore. Warriors could prioritize frontcourt additions. Golden State's lack of size could lead Mike Dunleavy Jr. to focus on frontcourt additions this summer. Should that be the case, Bleacher Report's Grant Hughes has cited Trey Murphy III as an ambitious but ideal target. Inked to a team-friendly 4-year, $112 million extension that'll keep him underpaid through his mid-20s, the rangy wing averaged a career-high 21.2 points and 3.5 assists per game last year, Hughes wrote. A good defender who can also attack the rim at high altitude, Murphy is a career 38.3% long-range sniper whose only real question mark is health. Almost any deal would have to involve Brandon Podziemski, whom Golden State was loath to move last summer. Murphy would be a major coup for Golden State. He would plug multiple gaps in the roster and provide long-term upside for an aging roster. However, the Warriors wouldn't be the only team to show interest in Murphy if he became available. Therefore, Golden State could find themselves in a bidding war. Underscore 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 underscore. Bobby Portis is another option for the Warriors. Another option for the Golden State would be Bobby Portis. The former NBA champion has a $13.5 million player option for next season. If he declines those options, he could hit the unrestricted free agency market this summer. Team executives expect Portis to have numerous potential landing spots in the mid-level market as well, although Milwaukee would like to bring back the 30-year-old forward, sources say, Jake Fisher reported. Golden State has always been a team to monitor for Portis, who has a notable fan in head coach Steve Kerr from their shared days during the 2023 FIBA World Cup competition with USA Basketball. Should Portis become available, he could be a strong addition to Golden State's roster. He would fit the current timeline and solve some issues within the rotation. So, while Simon's idea of adding White is a fun one, the more logical expectation is that Golden State prioritizes adding size this summer, and Portis could be the most viable option. Wild trade pitch brings Draymond Green to the Pistons to finish NBA career. When it comes to trade talk in the NBA during this offseason, Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors hasn't been one of the guys mentioned much, if at all. He's pretty much said that he plans to retire after his current run with the Warriors. But, how cool would it be to see this Michigan native return home to wrap up his career in the Motor City? Green grew up in Saginaw, Michigan, and quickly stood out on the Saginaw High School's basketball team. He signed to play college basketball at Michigan State University after getting offers from other big-time schools, including Michigan and Kentucky, and started out during the 2008 to 2009 season. Green was drafted by the Golden State Warriors in the second round of the 2012 NBA draft and helped lead them to 4 NBA championships in 2015, 2017, 2018, and 2022. He's also considered one of the greatest defensive players of his era. My fun trade proposal that brings Draymond Green to the Detroit Pistons. It's a given that the Detroit Pistons' biggest need for the future is for a solid power forward. Of course, Green would likely only be with the team for 1 year, so it doesn't solve the problem of the future for the Pistons, but it could add some much-needed help in that area for the upcoming season. Guys such as Jaren Jackson Jr., Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant have been floated around as perfect fits for the Pistons roster, and that's correct, especially as a long-term investment. But, bringing Green to Detroit to close out his NBA career would be nothing short of historic, and I can't think of anything being a bigger deal in the NBA except perhaps LeBron James deciding to ditch the Lakers for a new gig. In the age where the NBA is trying to get as many eyes on the game as possible, it could be appealing to see this kind of wild trade go off. Underscore 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 underscore. Detroit swaps picks for Green. Of course, before I launch into this idea, remember that it's simply an interesting trade idea that's fun to contemplate. This would make the Pistons' 2025-26 season even more of a treat to watch, especially for those who remember Green's earlier days. So, in my trade pitch, the Pistons would get Draymond Green, and the Warriors would get a Pistons 2027 second-round pick, 2029 second-round pick and 2031 second-round pick. That's a lot of picks, but they're scattered to not hurt the Pistons all at once. Plus, the Pistons' picks are dismal in 2026, so they aren't going to give up their sole first-round pick that season. This is a deal that would help position the Warriors for the future and, at the same time, give the Pistons some veteran help and star power in the upcoming season. Green is certainly one of the more controversial players in the NFL, so he would come with drama, but that shouldn't scare the Detroit Pistons too much. The bigger concern is that considering that Green has been one of the faces of the Warriors for so long, he probably wants to end his career there. Who can blame him? But, it's a fun concept, and Tom Izzo would love it. Warriors provide update on Brandon Podziemski's injury recovery. The Golden State Warriors' run in the 2025 NBA playoffs was largely disrupted by injuries. Stephen Curry's hamstring injury was obviously the worst of the bunch, as the Warriors were unable to generate much offense against the Minnesota Timberwolves in his absence, which led to their elimination. Several other players were grinding through their own ailments, such as second-year guard Brandon Podziemski. As the season went on, Podziemski grew into a bigger role for the Warriors, and it resulted in him starting all but one of their 11 playoff games. Making Podziemski's rise even more impressive is that he was battling a pair of serious injuries that required surgery. After he previously underwent a procedure on his wrist, Golden State announced on Thursday that Podziemski went back under the knife this week. Underscore 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 underscore. Warriors share Brandon Podziemski injury update. Play. The Warriors selected Podziemski with the number 19 overall pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, and he immediately contributed to their team as a rookie. In 74 games, 28 of which were starts, Podziemski averaged 9.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game while shooting 45.4% from the field. That earned him a spot on the All-Rookie team and a fifth-place finish in the Rookie of the Year race. Podziemski took on a bigger role in his sophomore season, averaging 11.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game for Golden State. And while he shot just 36.4% from the field during the postseason, Podziemski's two-way abilities helped ensure that he remained a crucial piece of head coach Steve Kerr's rotation, especially once Curry suffered his aforementioned injury. Shortly after the Warriors were eliminated, Podziemski got surgery on his left wrist, which could have contributed to his woeful shooting down the stretch of the season. But that's not the only injury he was dealing with, as the team revealed on Thursday that Podziemski also underwent surgery to repair a core muscle injury. Despite that, he's still expected to be ready to go for the start of the 2025-26 season. Golden State Warriors guard Brandon Podziemski underwent successful surgery yesterday to repair a core muscle injury, the team said in an official statement. He is expected to make a full recovery and be ready for the start of training camp. Podziemski previously underwent successful left wrist debridement surgery on May 27. Underscore 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 underscore. Warriors hoping Brandon Podziemski can continue to grow in 2025-26 campaign. It's always concerning to see a player undergo multiple medical procedures, but Podziemski seems to simply be cleaning things up after a long season on the court for the Warriors. Considering all the basketball he and his squad played, it's standard operating procedure for a lot of these guys, and it doesn't seem like this is anything that will hamper Podziemski for a lengthy period of time. That will be music to Golden State's ears, because Podziemski has quickly emerged as a key piece of their team, and his emergence helped the team turn things around and go on their run to the Western Conference semifinals this year. With Curry and Jimmy Butler still in tow, the Warriors will be looking to contend again next season, and if Podziemski takes another step forward, the team could make one last title run to keep their long-running dynasty alive.